University, Coimbatore. The most complete gift of God is a life based on knowledge. I now invite Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of International Business, to welcome and introduce the resource person. Please, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Suganya. A warm good morning to one and all gathered here. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to welcome the participants for this second day virtual faculty development program. At the outset, I extend a very warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. M. Elangu, for this program. Welcome, sir. I welcome our resource person, Dr. Prashant R. Nair, IQAC Coordinator, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore, who is going to share us his knowledge on best practices and documentation for academics. Welcome you, sir. I welcome the IQAC Coordinator of our college, the members of IQAC for this program. Welcome you all. And last but not the least, I take great pleasure in welcoming the participants from other institutions who have shown keen interest in participating in this faculty development program. Welcome, one and all. And now let me take the primary task of welcoming our resource person of today's program, Dr. Prashant R. Nair. He is working as Associate Professor of Computer Science and Engineering of Amrita School of Engineering, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, deemed to be University, Coimbatore. He has over 20 years of teaching, research, mentoring, training, consultancy, and academic administration experience. He has taught in academic programs in the USA and Europe at University of California, San Diego, and Sofia University, Bulgaria as an Erasmus Mundus Fellow. He has written 6 books, 2 edited books, one book chapter, and over 50 publications in reputed journals, books, and conferences. He has mentored student teams which have won premier international and national competitions like Smart India Hackathon, Rajasthan Hackathon, TCS Digital Twin Challenge, and represented India as part of the national hackathon team for Singapore India Hackathon and felicitated by Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi. He has also been ranked
Prashant
as
sir,
top
I am there.
innovation mentor in India
Listen,
by Atal Innovation Mission and
can you
coordinates
hear me?
Atal Innovation Mission activities at Tamil Nadu as regional mentor of change. He has been serving as the chairman, vice chairman, coordinator of Amrita Deemed University's Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQAC since 2009. Now, thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to welcome and introduce the chief guest. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Skill comes from consistent and deliberate practice. May I invite Dr. Prashant R. Nair to take over the session. Please, sir.
Uh, a very good morning to all the participants of this faculty development program on NAAC best practices, covering all the criteria organized by the IQAC of Sri Narayana Guru College in association with Bharatiyar University's internal quality assurance cell. At the outset, I would like to thank my very good friend and contact for so many years, Professor E.K. Girishan Nambiar, for inviting me for this talk, so that I can just share some of my experience with all of you. So generally, I'll share my slide. Just give me a minute. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
Okay. Yeah, and again, thank you, Dr. M. Sharavanan, for the very kind introduction. So today, what I'm going to talk is just
Vidyapita.
there is some noise somewhere. Can you please mute everybody?
Participants, kindly mute yourself. Sir, you can unmute yourself, sir. Prashant, sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Am I audible? Actually, I have also
Yes,
been
sir. Yes,
unmuted.
sir. You're audible. Audible,
I'm
sir.
audible. I'm not unmuted, right? Right. You're able to see my slides, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. A very good morning to you again. So what I will be covering is just giving you an overview of the NAAC Criterion 1, and also probably share you some perspectives on how to prepare the documentation. Probably I have a few samples which I can probably share with you, and probably I will take a board of studies, minutes, and try to explain the process, how you can make a very comprehensive minutes for a board of studies. That is the second part of the. But the first part is probably I will spend some time giving you an overview on the NAAC Criterion 1, the various aspects of NAAC Criterion 1. Perhaps many of you know that, but still I will spend some time to kind of focus on the various aspects of it. Now, this is taken from a perspective of a autonomous institution or a university, but that doesn't really matter, because the only difference is that the points are slightly different for autonomous institutions and affiliated institutions. Otherwise, the criteria is more or less the same. The points are here and there slightly different. So what I will do is I'll give an overview, and then probably we can have a lot of discussion. Maybe this may take half an hour to 40 minutes of presentation, and the next 10, 15, 20 minutes we can talk. I can maybe share some documents for you, and so on. So that's pretty much the agenda for today. With regard to my experience, as mentioned in my profile, I have been looking after the university level internal quality assurance cell for almost a decade. 8 years, from 2009 to 2017, I was the vice chair of the university level internal quality assurance cell. And from 2018 and 19, I functioned as the chair of the university level IQAC, which encompasses all the campuses of the university. So presently we have 6 campuses, around 16 colleges. We call them schools in our setup, 150 plus departments, 20,000 students, and close to 1,600 faculty. So that's pretty much our exercise. And we are a very multidisciplinary, multi-campus university. It's a bit complicated because we have campuses in different places, and we have schools in different places which are similar. For example, if you take an engineering college, we have actually 4 engineering schools. Anyway, I will come to that. Amrita is having a world-renowned spiritual leader and humanitarian leader, Sadhguru Shri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, as the chancellor. And there is a lot of guidance with respect to the chancellor's inputs, especially with regard to the vision, and focusing all our activities on research and our extension activities which are benefiting the society. So that's the underlying vision of the university. And as mentioned, there are so many things happening: groundbreaking research, lot of international collaborations. IQAC or NAAC is not at all on the priority so as to speak, because the vision of the university is societal transformation as envisaged by the chancellor. But then we have to do a good job of focusing on all these mandatory compliances, and that is the reason that at the top level, there is some talking. There is some crosstalk. Can you please mute everybody?
Yes, I have muted everyone. Sir, kindly you unmute yourself, sir.
I am now unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm getting a message in Teams that people are waiting in the lobby. So please allow
Yes,
everybody
sir.
from the lobby. Yeah.
Yes, allowing. Many are
Okay.
coming.
Yeah. Just give me one more minute. Just 1 minute. I don't know that the share tray went off. I don't know why. Yeah. As mentioned, NAC and these kind of compliances may not be on the top of our agenda, but at the end of the day, we have to focus on all these activities. So in this role, we have completed 2 cycles of NAC accreditation, both with the highest grade, which I had anchored both the exercises. The third cycle of NAC accreditation is pending. We completed everything in April, March of 2020, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't have the inspection, the on-site visit. It is still pending, and I am told that NAC, the statutes of NAC do not allow them to go for any online evaluation or assessment. So it's quite likely that they have to have an in-person physical visit. So that is why things have not happened, but I don't know whether they are planning to change that. So that's the experience. Now, the last year, the end of last year, I stepped down at the university level IQAC chair, but I continue to chair the Coimbatore campus IQAC, Internal Quality Assurance Cell of the Coimbatore campus, which is the biggest campus and the headquarters of the university. I continue to do that, and probably I've been doing this for more than 12 years now, the Coimbatore campus. At the university level, another person has been appointed as a director of ranking and accreditation. And I work with him with respect to the Coimbatore campus, NAC, NARF, NBA, all these activities in the Coimbatore campus, I still coordinate everything. But at the university level, I stepped down after almost a decade. So that's my experience, and many of the things are, from trial and error. So as I mentioned, we did 2 cycles of NAC accreditation, and it was purely a trial and error method, because when we did the first cycle of NAC in 2009, NAC never had such a complicated exercise of multi-campus, multidisciplinary university. Now, NAC had gone to universities with several departments, like Banaras Hindu University had 150 departments, 130 departments or something. One department was an Ayurveda, one was a computer science. So that diversity NAC had seen. But when you are talking of an engineering, computer science and engineering department, it is available in 4 campuses, 4 campuses, right? If you are looking at an MCA department, you are looking at 3 campuses. If you are looking at a, what should I say, a biotechnology, it is only there in 1 campus. So multidisciplinary, multi-campus we were the first exercise by NAC in 2009. Subsequently, they figured the way how to do this, and many other universities like SRM, VIT, and all have now moved on to a kind of a multidisciplinary setup. At that time, we were the first one, because I remember The NAAC director himself had to spend some time trying to figure out our, our committee and our schedule. Our schedule was not 3 days or something. The whole thing, if I remember, was close to 15 days because we had to go different campuses, different programs. So the engineering team went to all the engineering colleges. So those kind of things were there. And both the times we got the best grade. And one more thing we have done in a very proactive manner, we have made the IQAC to also function as the nodal office for the rankings, the NIRF rankings. Now, actually all these are combined. Earlier, the NIRF and NAAC were nodal office was separate, and there was a separate nodal office for international accreditation and international rankings. But now all that have been brought under a center for ranking and accreditation. There is a director, and I support the director by taking care of all these activities in this campus. So we have been able to proactively use the same IQAC for all the activities for the national rankings and international ranking. And we had, the essence of NAAC is, how you have involve everybody, you have a participative management, and the vision of total quality management, you can say, happens through an IQAC, because an IQAC is like a quality circle. Everybody is involved, and everybody and anybody is involved. Everybody participates. Everybody is motivated towards towards improving the quality, towards sustaining the quality, towards enhancing and improving the quality. Everybody is focused on the betterment of the institution. Everybody is focused on all aspects of the institution, whether it is academics, research, extension activities. So there is a 360 degrees multi-pronged approach towards the institution. So that is the essence of the IQAC, and we had a very complicated structure. At a university level, I was coordinating with another professor. Some campuses, we had 3-4 schools which were, like a medical school. We had a campus level coordinator also, because in some cases, there are certain common facilities in a campus, like the library, the hospital, are common. So we had somebody coordinating at the campus level, and individual college or school coordinators who report to the campus coordinator, and of course a department coordinator. So we had a 4-tier structure, a 4-tier architecture, starting from a university level, campus level, school level. School means college. In our parlance, we call college as a school, and a department level. So what I'm trying to say is this hierarchy means that everybody and anybody is involved. And the process is percolating from top to bottom. All these things happen. And when you are looking at an IQAC, it has to have an involvement of everybody. And it is not the job of the coordinator, or it is not the job of the HOD, or it is not the job of the principal. It is the job of each and every one of us. All of us have to own up to this process. Otherwise, the whole purpose is actually defeated. So that's about our, experience with regard to NAAC. Now, we may, we may kind of agree or disagree with the parameters. We may agree or disagree with the methodology. We may agree or disagree with the various process. But at the end of the day, we cannot ignore them. So I always say, you can love, you can like the see, Suganya, somebody has muted me. So there is a way that the presenter should not be muted by somebody else, by mistake maybe. Anyway, so ranking and accreditation, you can like it, you can not like it, you can hate it or like it, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you cannot ignore both. So love it or hate it, but you simply cannot ignore it. And this, when the NIRF was launched in 2016, this is a quote from the former education minister. I think she's presently the textile minister of the Modi 2.0 cabinet. Ranking and accreditation both are needed, and you cannot ignore both of them. Both are needed if you want to move ahead in your institution, if you want to compete globally, if you want to move ahead, if you want to make a mark, if you want reputation, all these things both are needed. And we simply cannot ignore both of this. We can always complain about the methodology. We can always complain about the what should I say, the ranking parameters, the criteria. That's a different thing. We can go on wasting our time complaining, but it is not going to help us anywhere. The best thing is to understand the system and own it up and adapt. So, see, there is no doubt about the fact that, whatever be the rankings or whatever be the accreditation, there is a lot of benefits, so as to speak. Now, this is common in terms of rankings or accreditation. When you are securing an accreditation, when you are getting a ranking, your reputation increases, your visibility increases, your opportunities for collaboration increase, your opportunities for securing placement for your graduates improve, your possibilities of getting research funding indirectly probably improve. And the most important aspect is that you are able to do a kind of a strategic planning. A strategic planning in the sense that you are able to take the lens and look inwards. Look at yourself. What is your strength? Where are your weaknesses? Where are the opportunities? And what are the threats? You can do a brainstorming. You can do a SWOT analysis and figure out where you stand, and benchmark yourself. So all these exercises in terms of rankings and accreditation help the institution. Not only they give you a good reputation, a visibility, a name, a branding, the bragging, your currency in the community, whether it is research agencies, whether it is companies that are giving employment to your graduates, whether it is other government agencies, research agencies, companies, stakeholders, alumni, all of them, your value, your currency only increases. Your reputation, your name, your brand, your visibility improves. Your opportunities also subsequently improve, because when you are ranked and accredited, you are having better chances of attracting international faculty, or to come to your institution and give a seminar or give a faculty development program. International students, faculty, all these depend upon your reputation. And accreditation and ranking both help you. Research and development. See, maybe directly you may not get a benefit out of a NAAC grade or an NBA grade in terms of getting a research funding. But when you are working towards an NBA or a NAAC grade, you are working toward a NAAC grade, you have to improve your publications. You have better strategies for your publications. You decide, okay, some of us, we will focus on quality papers. Some of us will go for quantity. Some of us will go for collaboration with other institutions. Some of us will look for problems to improve their research, focus on the society. In that process, automatically and indirectly, while you are working towards these accreditation and ranking processes, your focus definitely goes to your publications and research and the research outcomes, so as to speak. And in that process, automatically there is an improvement. We are able to see that tangible improvement happening because of these processes. And the most important, if you ask me, is the planning, the strategic planning. You are able to look inside. See, you can look to the whole world, but you look inward and you find out what are your problems, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the things that you need to improve. You make a plan. Maybe I want to achieve these things in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years. You are on a trajectory to go forward, to move forward. So at the end of the day, you can love them, you can hate them, but you simply cannot ignore, and you have to go for these things. The same thing I have told you. Now, the bedrock of, I have not come to the criterion one, but I wanted to stress, because I understand that this is the first talk, and I wanted to give you a perspective that I feel will be useful for you throughout the NAAC faculty development program. This is a quote that I give everywhere I talk, and it essentially stresses upon the need for proper data for documentation. Now, I'm sure this will be very relevant for you, whatever be the criteria that you are looking at, whatever be the quality improvement program you are doing, whether you are focusing on your academics in the future, whether you are focusing on administration, whether you are focusing on research, innovation, extension, clubs, sports, whatever be the case, the need for maintaining proper data collection and the need for having a proper evidence collection, a proof and a documentation system. This is the most cardinal need that we face. We have to have these two. That is why this quote, it comes from statistics. I have slightly modified it. In God we trust, but for everything else we need data. And I have added my own take to that popular saying, and that data needs to be supported by evidence. Without proper evidence and data, without proper data collection, collation, consolidation, and evidence collection, collation, and thing, it is very difficult in today's scenario. Now, in India, unfortunately, we have a slightly over-regulated system. An over-regulated system in the sense that we have a separate statutory body. If you are running an MCA course, you are under AICTE. You are running a pharmacy course, you are under Pharmacy Council of India. If you are running a B.Ed program, you have to focus on NCTE. If you are focusing on an engineering program or an MBA program, you have to go for AICTE approval. So all these AICTE, Medical Council of India, Nursing Council of India, Pharmacy Council, they are statutory bodies. Now, separately, we have a regulatory body. If you are an autonomous institution, you have to focus, you are regulated by UGC. If you are a deemed university or a private university, you are regulated by UGC. If you are an affiliated college, say you are affiliated to Bharatiyar University, but Bharatiyar University is regulated by UGC. So directly or indirectly, there is a regulatory body. Maybe you are regulated by UGC through the university or directly, but at the end of the day, there is a separate regulatory body. There is a separate accreditation body. There is a separate ranking body. Accreditation means NAAC and NBA. NAAC is totally independent of UGC. NAAC has nothing to do with the AICTE. They are all different bodies. And if you are looking at rankings, NIRF ranking is now presently under NBA, but next year, not now, 2021, 2022 rankings, the ranking will be a separate society. That is what I am given to understand. So we have a separate statutory body, we have a separate regulatory body, we have a separate accreditation body, we have a separate ranking body, and I do not need to impress upon you the importance of documentation. Documentation is very, very, very important. Not only having the documentation, the data, having the data alone does not suffice. You have to support it with adequate evidences and proofs. So have this culture. I am only talking about criterion 1, but have whatever you are doing, the IQAC should be the custodian of all the data and documentation. In fact, I am an external member for several IQACs, almost 10 universities and colleges, including Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. I am the external IQAC expert. And we have worked very closely in building this system. Wherever I try to help and support, I stress upon the fact that you should have a very functional IQAC. A functional IQAC that is the custodian of every data and document. Every data and document. The same data and document, you can use it for your university job affiliation. You can use it for, if a company is asking you for data. Sometimes if TCS is coming to your company, college for placement, they will ask you, fill this form. And the IQAC has to take the responsibility. So a single custodian, a single point of contact for all documentation, for all data, for all the evidences. That's what the IQAC has to be. Because in today's scenario, we cannot escape these things. We have to have proper data and evidence collection, collation, consolidation, maintenance, and this thing. In fact, of course, I don't, that's a separate presentation. I have a separate presentation on IQAC, but it is beyond the scope of today's lecture. So I want to again and again stress upon the need for data, the need for documentation. And again, I'm stressing upon in God we trust, but for everything else, we need data, and that data needs to be supported by evidence. So this is what I've been trying to tell you. You have to have a proper data and evidence consolidation system. At a college level, you have to keep certain documents, files, folders, proof, evidences. At a department level you have, and the IQAC should figure out that thing. What has to be kept at a college level? What has to be kept at a department level? That only your institution can do that. Of course, I don't have any time on this. Now I directly go on to the four sub criteria of the sub criteria of the NAAC Criterion 1, where this is applicable for anybody, whether you are an affiliated college, whether you are a university, whether you whatever be your discipline. So the aspects of curriculum academics look at how you are planning, how you are implementing, how you are enriching the curriculum, planning, implementing, executing, and enriching the curriculum, how you are getting feedback from the stakeholders, and the flexibility. Now you may ask me, oh, sir, I'm an affiliated college. I do not have much flexibility. True, NAAC does not expect you to have that amount of flexibility. But having said that, NAAC definitely expects you to have a great level of flexibility, in the sense that you may not be able to change your core courses or electives, but you have tremendous flexibility in the kind of value-added courses that you are giving your students. So I agree, in many affiliated colleges, you cannot do much about the whatever the core courses, the electives and all, but you can definitely focus on your value-added courses. Nobody can stop you from doing that. Nobody can stop you from starting certifications, value-added courses, improving this thing, giving some sort of flexibility. See, and it is in your benefit that you go for all these things. So these are the broad aspects of the curricular, this thing. And now I'll quickly go through the criteria, and then we can discuss upon the documents. Now, if you take the first aspect, the curricular planning and implementation, what they are expecting you to do is that you are expected to go for a outcome-based education framework, irrespective of what discipline that you are in. Now, many people have the misconception that outcome-based education is only meant for MBA and engineering. It is far from the truth. It is true that outcome-based education, learning outcomes have been more pioneered or implemented primarily in engineering colleges, because they have to go for NBA accreditation, where 70% of the mark for an NBA accreditation depends upon the the outcome-based education. But today, UGC is very clear. Whatever be the program that you are running, whatever be the discipline that you are running, whether it is science, humanities, arts, you are expected to go for the learning outcomes. In fact, if you are affiliated to Bharatiyar University, for sure the Bharatiyar University would have got a the vice chancellor or the registrar would have got a compliance note from UGC asking what is the status of the implementation of LOCF. LOCF stands for Learning Outcomes Curriculum Framework. So UGC is telling all universities, affiliating universities should motivate their affiliated colleges, their autonomous institutions, the universities, deemed to be universities, private universities, everybody should implement LOCF, Learning Outcomes Curriculum Framework, which is the same as OB, which is a synonym for outcome-based education. So you are expected to have clear program outcomes for whatever program you do, program specific outcomes and course outcomes for every course. And you are expected to map the course outcomes to the POs and the PSOs, the program outcomes and the program specific outcome. Not only that, you are expected to do the attainment calculations. You are expected to close the loop. Now, as I mentioned, engineering colleges have probably done this because NBA accreditation is now getting mandatory for engineering colleges. If you want to start a new MTech program, master's program in that department, you need NBA accreditation. If you are requiring to increase the number of seats in your department for bachelors from 60 to 120, you need NBA accreditation. So that has motivated many colleges to go for NBA accreditation because the AICTE has mandated it. UGC, on the other hand, has asked universities to implement, but there is no, what should I say, extension of approval or new program introduction is not mapped to the thing. But I remember, even today, I remember last couple of years back, we had a review by university. I had only gone and presented along with the dean as the chair of IQAC, probably a couple of years back. I don't remember. No, it was last year. And UGC expects all colleges, all universities, irrespective of discipline, to go for LOCF. Maybe arts and sciences colleges are not as fast as engineering colleges, but you have to be into that trajectory. Second thing is that you are expected to have periodic revisions. If you ask me, it may not be practical to revise your curriculum every year. You can at least revise your curriculum once for every batch. So if one program is BCA is 3 years, you should at least revise it once in 3 years. If MCA is 2 years, you should revise it once in 2 years. If BSc is 3 years, once in 3 years. So that kind of revision, and NAAC is expecting you to give a good percentage of programs where you are doing some syllabus revision. They want you to do 100%, but the degree you are actually even expected to highlight how much you have improved, how much you have changed. That is also important. Then the next thing is average percent, how much courses you are focusing on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development. Again, your courses are expected to have, as I mentioned, if you are going for learning outcomes, automatically this will happen. If you are going for learning outcomes curriculum framework, if you are going for outcome-based education, or many of your courses, you will definitely have outcomes that focus on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development, and those are highlighted in the COs, the course outcomes. And that is one way to clearly, highlight the fact that this course has got a component with respect to employability, a component with respect to entrepreneurship, a component with respect to skill development. So this is known to you, but I am just telling you the other side of the story. Now, of course, the flexibility. you may not be able to have many new courses maybe, but you may definitely be able to have value added courses, new courses against the total number of courses across programs. Obviously, you may not be able to change 70%, 80%, 100%, but you can definitely change 20%, 30%. Have a series of new electives in cutting edge areas. Have courses and electives which focus on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development, and those kind of things you are expected to have. Maybe the number may hover around 20 to 25%, but if you have 20 to 25%, you get the full marks. And I already told you this is 100% requirement. You are expected to have LOCF, Learning Outcomes Curriculum Framework, which is more or less synonymous with CBCS, choice-based credit system. When you have a credit system, automatically you have several courses, you have several options. Each course will have course outcomes, and they map to the program outcome. So all these are, generally speaking, interrelated to each other. Now, coming to the other aspects, enhancing the courses. Obviously, which are the courses that you are having which focus on ethical dimensions, gender, human values, environment, sustainability. Not many courses will be there, but definitely, there are some mandates also. I don't remember, but perhaps there has been a Supreme Court order that requires every student to have study environment and sustainability. There is a Supreme Court order. I don't know. To my extent, I understood even medical colleges are now having that course. At least as far as we are concerned, as an engineering college, I remember I have taught this course once, environmental and sustainability. It is mandatory for all students. And it's a Supreme Court order. I don't know if that Supreme Court order is even today binding. There definitely are some courses or at least some value-added activities that focus on ethics. May not be gender issues and all, but still even engineering colleges have courses on ethics, have courses on environment, sustainability. To the extent I remember, I don't recall, but I'm sure our medical school has contacted us with respect to this EVS course, Environment and Sustainability course. They wanted some support, so I'm sure it's important. And another interesting thing I want to share with you, at least even medical programs, which are tightly coupled to the Medical Council of India. Of course, now the name of the Medical Council of India is called NMC, National Medical Commission. Even the National Medical Commission is talking about having changing the medical curriculum from an annual pattern into a semester-based program with credit system. Even the medical fraternity is talking about a learning outcomes program, but it is not executed. They are perhaps in the next 1 or 2 years, medical programs will also transition to an LOCF kind of things. Now, of course, this is a lot of marks, especially if you are an autonomous, not an autonomous college. You have more and more options to have skill development, value-added courses, certificate programs which improve your thing and the number of students. Ideally, you should have 100% of the students going for these things, giving them a value-add option. And finally, the getting students to do some sort of research component. Internship is a challenge. It may not be possible for everybody and anybody to go for internship, but still, it's still a challenge that way. Yeah, so these kind of things are very important with respect to the curriculum enhancement. How many skill development, value-added courses you are adding for the students, and what kind of courses are focusing on environment, sustainability, ethics, and those dimensions, and what kind of field work that you could give. You see, it is not possible for each and every program, but at least a good percentage, if some programs have some project or some thesis or some internship or field work, it definitely adds value. You see, for example, if you take a master's in social work, an MSW program, everything is focusing on field work. but every program may not be able to have that. But still, you can make an attempt to have some sort of courses where there is some component where the student is able to go out and discuss and get some idea. Again, post COVID, this can't be done during the COVID pandemic. And finally, feedback system and feedback from all stakeholders, and also documentation of the feedback and how you are taking action on the feedback. Now, let me be very clear with you. This is not the feedback of the teacher at the end of the semester. After every semester, the student evaluates the teaching learning process of the student, how he has imbibed the course, how the teacher has taught the course, how is his delivery, modulation. That's not the meaning of this. This is how you are getting a mechanism to get some sort of feedback for the curriculum, for the syllabus, for the electives, the pedagogy, the methodology, the exam system, instruments, the evaluation and assessment tools, and so on. And it's ideal that you have to get from your students, all of them may give, all your faculty, all of them may give, employers, at least few of them who are very serious, who are very happy to take your students as employees will give, and some alumni will definitely give. Alumni who are connected to all of you. And very important thing is the status of the closing of the loop. How you have taken the feedback, how you have escalated this feedback into the higher levels, to the higher authorities, to the higher, to the bodies that are above your department or your program. That's also very important. Now let us quickly see the documentation that is needed. That's all. That's the last thing. The documentation, I can obviously these are the documentation that is needed for the criterion 1. I have just added all the questions into a common bucket. So this common bucket of documentation will be enough for all the questions and criteria questions and of NAAC Criterion 1. This bucket will be enough. You have to have proper minutes of academic council, board of studies. I will show you a board of studies template after this slide. As I mentioned, it is very important that all programs should go for an outcome-based education, an OBE, which is synonymous with the LOCF, the Learning Outcomes Curriculum Framework. Ideally, for every program, you should have a proper booklet. The booklet should have the entire curriculum. That booklet need not be printed. It has to be available as a PDF. Every student should be given that PDF. That PDF should be part of your website. That PDF file should be a document. If you are able to afford it, it is ideal that you give these students a copy of the book. The reason is the student may go for higher studies. The student may go to US. Then they will ask, what are the courses you took? What is the equivalent? So if the student has this booklet, you can simply give the booklet to the foreign university or the international university, or the same student will be coming back to the department and asking, sir, I want the complete syllabus of the department. I want it attested. All these are headaches. So it will only waste your time. So ideally, you give a booklet of the entire program curriculum, the syllabus, and in that program syllabus booklet, you should have the vision of your department, the mission of the department, and the complete OBE requirements like the program outcomes, the program specific outcomes, the course outcomes, and the mapping. So every student, the objective is very clear. The objective is very, very clear that each and everything is there with the student. If you can't afford to print for each and every student, fine, don't at least give them a PDF so that they can use it. It should have the college logo, the college branding, so that it becomes an official document. So that is one good practice that you can do. Now, minutes of the academic council and board of studies, I will come to that. Academic council is more like a senate. In some places they call it senate. Academic council takes policy decisions, but that has to be maintained properly with proper dates, with proper signatures, and so on. Now, the second thing that you can do is for every course that you are making, outcome-based education will require you to have a very good course plan. The course plan is a comprehensive document which should have the lesson plan. The lesson plan means what is lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3. Ideally, you can have a concept map. A concept map will give an idea of what are the basic concepts that one is covering in the course and what are the dependencies between the concepts. Plus, where are the course material available? If there is a website for that, or several websites, or if there are textbooks, if there are electronic resources, ideally get all these things in the course plan. So every faculty, every course should have a course plan, and the course plan should also talk about the evaluation methodology. What is the evaluation methodology? If it is prescribed by the university, that should be mentioned in the course plan. So these kind of documentation are very important for both NAAC and NBE. So have a booklet. The booklet should have the curriculum and syllabus. The booklet should have the vision and the mission of the department. The booklet should have the PEO, the PO, PSO, CEO, everything, the course outcomes, the complete mapping should be there. Now, every faculty should have a course plan, or for the course that they are handling, the course plan should have the lesson plan, the concept map, the course material, or the links to the course material, the resources, the e-resources, and the evaluation methodology. So this is one bucket of documents that will be useful for many of these questions. I've combined all of these. The second bucket, in addition to that, the same document, you probably need to also have the old syllabus and the new syllabus. And in the new syllabus, you have to have old syllabus booklets you have to maintain, the new syllabus booklet you have to maintain, and you also need to highlight where the changes have happened. That addendum is needed, meaning you have the old syllabus booklet, you have the new syllabus booklet. You also need a separate document with all the new courses and the new additions that are changes that have been made in those courses highlighted. And if there is any supporting document, I added for computational thinking, I added this tool. Why did I add this tool? Because the industry wanted me to use this tool. I changed my first programming course for MCA to Python. Why? Most of my employers have preferred Python to C programming, and these are the emails, these are the documents, these are the things that they have highlighted. That evidence should be separately maintained. So, old syllabus, new syllabus, plus an addendum of the new courses and the modified courses highlighted with the supporting document of who has asked for this change. This is very, very important. Now, with the same extract from the old syllabus book, new syllabus book. Another extract is the courses that have the human values, the gender issues, the sustainability. Again, they have to be a separate addendum with highlights. And how do you highlight that this course focuses on sustainability? One of the CEOs should have that. You highlight the CEO, you have nailed the thing. So I'm just going to sum up again. For the entire bucket of criterion 1, the various documentation that you can do is you have academic council minutes, board of studies minutes, which I will share with you something. You have syllabus booklet, all your old syllabus books you should have, new syllabus book you should have. The new syllabus book should have the curriculum, the syllabus, but for every course, for the entire program, you should have the department vision, the mission. For every program, what are the PSOs, what are the program outcomes, and for every course, what are the course outcomes. And also, you need to do a mapping. Now, this same booklet, you have to have 2 extracts. One extract is a document with all the new courses, highlighting the course, the new courses, highlighting why you introduced the new course, who has given the feedback that resulted in this new course, number 1. Again, the existing courses, where all you have added new content, highlighted and why you added the new content, who was responsible for introducing this. That is another highlight. Another extract of this new syllabus booklet and curriculum booklet for all the courses that have got the this thing, highlight the, take the course plan out, highlight that. Now for every course, every faculty should have a course plan. The course plan should be comprehensive. It should have a lesson plan, concept map, course material, resources, or the links to the resources, and evaluation methodology. And if you are talking of courses with gender, ethics and all, those course plans should be highlighted with these aspects. The last, then of course, the value-added courses. Many times value-added courses, the NAAC requires you to have MOUs. It may or may not be possible. Some of them need not have MOUs. But if you have MOUs, fine. If you don't have MOUs, have proper brochures, flyers of these things. Suppose you have taken an online Microsoft certification, there won't be any MOU, but you may have some license agreement. That can be the document. Suppose you have an online program where there is no MOU, that is fine. Just have that brochure or the flyer with the branding of that, Amazon or MIT Open Courseware. There may be no MOU, but that branding of MIT OCW is there. Plus, you need to have the students' attendance and some sample certificates. So these are needed. Other bucket of items for value-added courses. Now, the last third bucket, first bucket is, one bucket is BOS and Academic Council. Second bucket is syllabus book, new and old. Third bucket is course plan. Fourth bucket is internship completion certificate, report of field visit, some sample photos, some reports, some approval letters, and all those things is the fourth bucket. The fifth bucket is the stakeholder report, the feedback that you take on curriculum and syllabus and methodology from the students, teachers, employers, alumni. And you are expected to have 100% feedback from the students and the teachers. Maybe employers, you may get much less feedback. Alumni, you may get 10 or 20% feedback. Maybe some people even ask the parents, you may get 1 or 2% retention and so on. But this is the fifth bucket. Not only that, this feedback, what action have you taken on this feedback, how you have used the feedback, and how you have been able to act upon the feedback, and how it has been escalated not only to the Board of Studies, but to higher authorities and committees like the Academic Council, which is like the Senate, and the Board of Management or the Board of Governors, or which is, or some places it is called the syndicate in some universities. So that is the fifth bucket. So criterion 1, I'm summing up my last slide. 5 buckets are there. One bucket is the BOS and the Academic Council minutes. Second bucket is the syllabus book, old and new. And the syllabus book should have all the details, not only of the syllabus and curriculum, but also the POs and PSOs and COs. Third bucket is the course plan of every individual course with the lesson plan, with the material. Fourth bucket is the MOU for all the value-added courses, or the flyers or the brochures. The fifth bucket is the internship report certificate. No, this is again the fourth bucket. Value-added courses, the brochure, the flyer, the attendance list, the certificates, the internship certificates, then the reports and the pictures of the field visit, all those with the fourth bucket. And the last bucket is the feedback. So 5 buckets of documentation you prepare. You have got all the things that are required for the purpose of the NAAC Criterion 1. I think that's all from my now. I will close my presentation, and I'll give me a minute. I have a time is. I'm just closing in a minute. I know I have reached the time. Can you see this thing? The format that I had prepared for the BOS, because BOS minutes has to be highly comprehensive. I'll quickly run you through this. It's all general blah 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 stuff, that date, time, venue, who are the members, who is the chairman, who are the external members. You have to give their full designation, and who didn't attend. There are general comments that have to be given in a BOS minutes in terms of philosophical inputs, whether to reduce the credits, whether to have more lab courses, increase project courses, have experiential learning program. So one part is general comments, which are overview and philosophical comments. Another one is new courses, electives, why it was given, what is the justification, where the feedback came, and this should be supported by a document. Then, see, this is what. Maybe an expert member has given, and what is the justification. Then comments on specific courses and electives. Okay, change this course to project mode. Add this topic. Add this lab. Add this tool. Change the textbook. These are specific comments. And then finally, very important, what are the POs of the program? What are the CEOs of the program? And finally, the mapping of the program. So this is a template that I prepared for the university, and I believe at least many of the departments have followed this template. And I close for now. I'm stopping the sharing. I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much. Yeah. I have no problem. I will send this PPT. Somebody has asked for the PPT. I will definitely send this PPT now itself. Girish, can you tell me your email ID? I will just now itself send it to you. Thank you very much. Oh, Girish, you are somewhere outside. Huh? Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. Over to you, Suganya. You can do the moderation for the questions. I am actually free. I am available. I have no hurry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Participants, if you have any questions, please do raise.
Can you please
Participants can
tell
post
me
your
who's
questions.
no, I'm a little busy. I have another talk today. I think another 2 talks today. So if I can, now itself, I will email it to you. Which email? Girish, what is your email ID?
You can note down our
Send it
IQAC
to
mail ID.
Yeah. Tell me.
iqacsngc@gmail.com.
Tell me. Yeah.
IQAC SNGC.
Can you put it in the chat box, Suganya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll
Okay.
put. I'll
Yes, sir, I'll put it.
So I will request you to please send it to all the faculty who are, many of them are asking for the slide. Please share it with all the participants.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir,
I'm
we'll
just giving
send.
you my email ID. My email ID is Prashant@Amrita, but for the slide, you can get it from the organizers. But this is how you can connect to me. It's very just drop an email. You can connect to me. You can also you can easily find me on the website. Just go search for Google amrita.edu Prashant Armayar. You can also find me on Facebook and follow me on Facebook. Again, go to Facebook Prashant Armayar. You search, you'll get me very easily. You'll get me. Suganya, put the mail ID in the chat box because I can't send to each person individually. iqacsngc@gmail.com. Sherry, I'm just sending it.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir.
Suganya, if you have any questions, they can either ask also, come online and
Okay, sir. Okay. Dear participants, the feedback link is posted in the chat box. Please do fill it up.
yeah, the slides have already been sent to the email ID of the SNGC IQAC SNGC at gmail.com. I have already sent it. Please send it to all the thing. I can't individually. Sorry, I don't have the time to respond individually. Yeah. There are some questions. Can you please read the
Sir,
questions?
yes, sir. Somebody has posted a question. They just asked you to explain student support and progression part and on student participation activities part, sir.
So, somebody else is going to give the talk. I can only give some pointer on
Yes.
that.
See,
Girish, is
for
it okay
information,
for you
for
if somebody else
yes,
is
yes,
going
for
to
you,
talk? Is it okay?
for your information, that will be under criteria 5, which is by someone else coming up Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. And now Prasad is only for criteria 1. If you have any questions related to that, you can post the question or ask directly. See, the program is like this. Every day, every criteria will be taken. So now today's criteria 1. So if the participants have any questions related to criteria 1, you can very well put up the question in the chat box.
Yeah. I figured it was not right on my path to take questions on the other criteria when you have identified other experts. So. Yeah, there are some questions, Suganya. Can you just see that?
Sir, yeah, for affiliated colleges, the revision of syllabus is actually, it could be done through BOS of affiliated university only. So how could we improve the syllabus or how could we update the syllabus? That is the question posted by Narayanasamy, sir.
No, see, it's a very valid question that, I know it's an issue in many cases. At least I remember 15 years back, we were all, Amrita was also affiliated to Bharatiyar University and then to Anna University. I myself, I am a Bharatiyar University graduate. But then, see, there it's a major problem. I don't deny that. But at the end of the day, every university is required to be transparent about who the BOS members are. It has to be on the public domain, available on the website, and it has to be communicated to all the affiliated colleges. This is a mandatory requirement. So you are not anyway in that decision-making structure, but there is nothing wrong in sending your inputs to the sending your inputs to the concerned board of studies members or the board of studies chairperson. It is every university has to maintain it in a transparent fashion. So there is nothing wrong in contacting the board of studies chairman of your program and giving your input. Sir, these are the things that need to be done in the program. Please consider these inputs. There is absolutely nothing wrong in this way. Why even today I remember, I'm talking 2002 or 2003, before we became a deemed university, we were affiliated to Bharatiyar University and Anna University. Even today I remember myself and the chairperson. At that time I was the vice chair of computer science. We had gone to some college, I don't remember also, maybe Krishna College, and we were sitting with the Board of Studies chairman at that point of time, the principal of Krishna, and giving him inputs for the Anna University syllabus. We were giving inputs for that because neither myself or the principal, not the HOD, the principal and myself of Amrita, we went to Krishna. Krishna principal was a member of the Anna University BOS. We sat with him, gave a lot of inputs, and he was very, very gracious enough to accept the inputs. Whether it could be implemented or not, I don't know, because then the next year we came out of Anna University. So I have no clue about that. But what I'm saying is that there is nothing wrong in giving your inputs to the BOS member. Second thing, there are limitations with respect to any BOS, because BOS will come with an associated cost. You have to give money. You have to spend money for meetings, physical meetings. You have to probably provide a remuneration to these people. You have to consider their travel and all. So it may not be able to do every year and all. We may be not able to do only once in 3 years or 2 years, and it has an associated cost. So there is a problem that way. Now the only thing is, sometimes BOS may not update what you want in your graduates, what you want in your students. There may be some skills that may be missing. So what the only way to do that is, you ramp up and you improve your value added courses. That's the only way to take care of these kind of issues. Improve your value added courses. University may or may not change these things. That you have no control over that. There is no problem usually talking about that problem. But you can definitely, what should I say? You can definitely add whatever skill that you want into the board of study, into the value added courses and certification programs that you do. So your students get that skill set. That is what you can do. So obviously, you have no control. So these are the two options that I will suggest. One is contacting the board of studies chairman and giving your inputs and requesting him to consider that. Surely a good academician will consider all the inputs, number one. Number two, wherever you are not able to do things, plug those things into value added courses. See, in Amrita, we had a huge discussion on foreign language. We were thinking whether it's not a bad idea to give a student a foreign language, but somehow in the discussions in the board of studies and the academic council, it never got any traction. But now we have the foreign languages available as a value added courses. Probably that was the better decision, rather than trusting a foreign language on everybody. Better get it from the people who really want it, and as a value added or a certification program, some students have been taking, and it is going on very well. So in hindsight, it was better to do it as a value added course rather than adding it into the curriculum. There are some more questions, Suganya. Can
Yes,
you please?
sir. Vanilla has given a question, sir. She is asking for some suggestions regarding internships for max students during this pandemic period, sir.
To be I think mathematics. I am a computer science person, but I believe that mathematics students can. There are some opportunities in IT companies which focus on data science, because data science is like. Data science is basically trying to understand the data, and there is a lot of statistics and mathematical things are there. So I believe there are opportunities for mathematics students in IT companies, especially those who are focusing on data science, statistical methods, and so on. I think that's probably my take. You have to look for companies who are focusing on data science, machine learning, and so on. Yeah, some Swapna, some question is there. What is the question? Yeah. What are the supporting documents required for project and internship? So here I am giving you a practical take. Mostly all the companies give an internship certificate. Now, there is no specific format. Please understand, these companies, you have to understand that they have allowed for an internship despite their busy schedule. I mean, they are doing you a favor. To be very honest, it's not the other way around. Mostly these internships are that they are doing you a favor rather than you are giving them a favor. And the internship student is probably eating into the bandwidth of the company. So the ideal thing is you help, you provide the company, you ask them if they are not having time, you prepare the internship certificate and send it to the company fellow, and so that he can just take the printout in the letterhead, sign it and send it to you. That is the best thing. So generally it is a certificate, a letter or a certificate. Certificate means a letter. Now, in certain cases, some companies will not give that. They will not give. They will say we can't do that. That is fine. There will be some sort of report, project report that the student will be doing at the end of the internship. It may be a 10-page document or a 50-page document. It may, if you are not in a position to get a letter or a certificate from the company, you just have that report and tell if the NAAC person or somebody asks you, you tell them very clearly, this company did not give. They have some proprietary issues. They are not giving internship certificates or letters. That is fine.
Thank you, sir. That's all the questions.
Okay, so again, I will thank all the participants. I think there was a very good lot of number of participants. What was the number, Suganya? 200?
Sir, it is 208, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Amazing. Anyway, I hope you got a good some idea. Thank you very much. As mentioned again, please feel free to connect with me on Facebook or on email. I'm again giving you my email ID. This presentation has already been sent to the organizers. They will send it to all of you. I am not having time to individually email each one of you. I'm very sorry, but they will send it to you very soon. Thank you very much. All the best for the remaining days. There is a hand raised from Dr. R. Priya. Somebody has raised the hand. Is it for a question? Suganya, you can check. I am still having time.
Sir, she is the coordinator of IQAC of our institution, sir.
Oh, sorry.
She's our IQAC coordinator. Yeah.
Okay. No, she raised her hand. In Teams, you have to unraise, otherwise it will still be flagged. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much. All the best. Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is one more thing. What if thanks would be done by Saravanan?
I'm available.
You wait for it. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Suganya. Good afternoon. I deem it a privilege to profound the vote of thanks. It is indeed my great pleasure to avail this opportunity to express my gratitude. At the outset, I would like to thank the management for providing us an opportunity to arrange this faculty development program. I'm avail this opportunity to thank our most respected principal, Dr. M. Elangovan, for his constant guidance and encouragement, which has elevated our college to a great heights. I'm deeply thankful to our most honored guest, Mr. Dr. Prashant R. Nair, IQAC Coordinator, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, Coimbatore, for being amidst us and for his elaborate presentation on Criteria 1. Sir, we are most honored by your presence, and your inputs have given us a lot to learn. And I am more indebted to my IQAC team for their support and making this day a memorable one. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our participants from other institutions who are the real inspiration to us and for sparing their valuable time amidst their schedules. So thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear participants, for joining us for the second day program. Hope to see you all for the third day program on role of IQAC in higher educational institutions by Dr. N. Pon Pandian, Director, IQAC, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, at 11 a.m. Thank you all. Have a good day. Participants, please do fill up the feedback link which is posted in the chat box, and we will send you the PowerPoint presentations to your mail IDs. Thank you all.